Sairam students, let's begin with the class 8 political science. We are doing the revision of chapter number 3, Why Do We Need a Parliament? Today we are doing the second part of this. Let's go through the content. In our first presentation, we have learnt about the introduction. Then we have learnt about the topic, why should people decide? And even we have seen people and their representatives. Now in today's session, we are going to learn the remaining two topics, that is the role of the parliament and who are the people in parliament. Now, this we have already seen in our last presentation, that is the Parliament of India, that is Sansad. It's a supreme law-making institution. It has two houses, that is the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha, that is the Council of States with a total strength of 245 members, is chaired by the Vice President of India. We are going to learn about this in detail in this presentation only. Lok Sabha, that is House of the People, with a total membership of 545, is presided over by the Speaker. Now let's begin with the topic, the role of the Parliament. Created after 1947, the Indian Parliament, it is an expression of the faith that the people of India have in the principles of democracy. See, these are participation by people in the decision-making process and government by consent. The parliament in our system has immense powers because it is elected. It is the representative of the people. The election is done to the parliament. It is held in the similar manner as that has been done for the state legislature. Lok Sabha is usually elected once every 5 years. The country is divided into numerous constituencies, so each of these constituencies elects one person to the parliament. The candidates who contest elections usually belong to different political parties. They are not from one party but from the different parties. And once elected, these candidates, they become the members of parliament, that is called as MPs. So what is MPs? MPs means the members of parliament. And these MPs, that is these members of parliament, together make up the parliament. But once election to the parliament have taken place, the parliament has to perform the following functions that are given here: to select the national government, to control, guide and inform the government, and also the lawmaking. Now let's begin to select the national government. See, Parliament of India consists of the President, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. After the Lok Sabha elections, a list is prepared showing how many MPs belong to each political party. So for a political party to form the government, they must have a majority of elected MPs. That is, see, in the Lok Sabha, since there are 543 elected, plus 2 Anglo-Indian nominated members in Lok Sabha. So majority means, if I'll talk about the majority of this, 545 is total. To have a majority, a party should have at least half the number, that is 272 members or more. The opposition in parliament is formed by all the political parties that oppose the majority party. That is called as the coalition. Now children, here coalition, it is given in your glossary also in the textbook. It refers to the alliance that is formed by political parties after elections when no party has been able to get adequate seats to form a clear majority. When a single party cannot form majority, then the different political parties, those who will have the same terms and conditions, they will come together, they will form the alliance of it, and that is called as the coalition, and that government formed through this way is called as the coalition government. So one of the most important function of the Lok Sabha is to select the executive. Now executive is a group of persons who work together to implement the laws made by the parliament. The Prime Minister of India is the leader of the ruling party in the Lok Sabha. From the MPs who belong to her party, the Prime Minister selects ministers. See, for each and every department, the ministers will be selected. These ministers then take charge of different areas of government functioning like health, education, finance, etc. So each and every minister has to do their duty in that particular field itself that has been allotted to them. Now, oftentimes in the recent past, it has been difficult for a single political party. As I told you, the meaning of coalition government. See, one party cannot form the government alone, then the other parties join them to have the majority, and that is called as that government. The government formed through that way is called as the coalition government. Now, the Rajya Sabha functions primarily as a representative of the states of India in the parliament. Now, Rajya Sabha also initiate legislation and a bill is required to pass through the Rajya Sabha in order to become a law. It is even Rajya Sabha plays an important role in reviewing and altering the laws initiated by the Lok Sabha. Now, the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members of the legislative assemblies of various states. There are 233 elected members plus 12 members nominated by the president. That means the total is 245. Now, the second function of the parliament is to control, guide, and inform the government. Now, here the parliament, while taking the sessions, begins with a question hour. Now, what is that question hour? See, question hour, it is an important mechanism through which MPs can elicit information about the working of the government. Now, let's understand this question hour, how it is helpful. See, this is a very important way through which the parliament controls the executive. By asking questions, the government is altered to its shortcomings and also comes to know the opinion of the people through their representatives in the parliament, that is the MPs. So, asking questions of the government is a crucial task for every MP. The opposition parties play a critical role in the healthy functioning of a democracy. They highlight drawbacks in various policies and programs of the government and mobilize popular support for their own policies. Now, the MPs as representative of the people have a central role in controlling and guiding and informing the parliament. See, government gets the valuable feedback and is kept on its toes by the questions asked by the MPs. So, this is the way through which the parliament controls, guides, and informs the government. So, MPs plays a very important role, a central role in doing that work. The third function of the parliament is the lawmaking. See, lawmaking, it is a significant function of the parliament. Now, the next topic, who are the people in parliament? The parliament now has more and more people from different backgrounds. There are more rural members as also members from many regional parties also. There also has been an increase in political participation from the Dalit and backward caste and the minorities. Now, let's understand this in detail. See, it is like marginalized societies like SCs and STs. Now, what is SCs and STs? SCs is the scheduled caste and ST is the scheduled tribes. See, what is like, it has been observed that representative democracy cannot produce a perfect reflection of society. There is a realization that when interest and experiences separate us, it is important to ensure that the communities that have been historically marginalized are given adequate representation. With this thing, keeping this thing in mind, the marginalized societies, that is the SCs and STs, they have reservation in parliament as they are more familiar with the interest of their society. See, they have been done so that the MPs elected from their constituencies, why they are made, why the reservations have been given to SCs and STs. See, because if it is like the MPs, those who have been elected from these particular constituencies, will be familiar and can represent Dalit and Adivasis' interest in parliament. See, they know about the society very well. So, if the people belonging to that particular constituency, they will be able to tell very well about the problems faced by that particular community. That is the reason it is like the reservations have been given for SCs and STs also, the backward classes. Even recently, it has been seen that suggested that there should be the reservations of seats for women also. But still, that issue is still being in debate. It is still going on. The debates are going on that. If we'll talk about like 60 years ago, only 4% of MPs were women, but today it is just about 9%. This is a small share where you consider the fact that the half the population are women. Along with the members from national or regional political parties, there are independent members also. Now, it is issues of this kind that force the country to ask certain difficult and often unresolved questions. Now, here the meaning of unresolved. What is that unresolved? It means the situations in which there are no easy solutions to the problems that have been arised. So, the questions about whether our democratic system is representative enough, the fact that we can ask these questions and are working towards answer is a reflection of the strength and the faith that the people in India have in a democratic form of government. Now let's understand about the who are the people in parliament in clear detail. See, parliament has more and more people from different backgrounds. There are more members from rural areas as well as from the regional parties also. Many groups which had no representation earlier are also there now, such as from the backward classes. So, increased participation is there from the Dalit and the backward classes, that is, marginalized societies, as I told you, SCs and STs. They have got the reservations in parliament as they are more familiar with the interest of their own society. Recently, even the women reservation has also been suggested, but the issue is still being debated. Then, along with this members, we have the national or the regional political parties also but we have independent members also in the parliament. Now, representative democracy sometimes is not a true reflection of society. Historically, marginalized communities like the SCs and STs have been given adequate representation in the parliament. The issue of reserved seats for women is still being debated. So, half of the population is of women, but then too, still we can say the percentage, the reservation that has been given to the women is very less. This kind of discussions about reservations and questions restores our faith in the democratic form of the government. Now, today we have completed with the topic the role of the parliament and who are the people in parliament. See, all people do not cast their vote, right? So, representing democracy cannot produce a perfect reflection. It is important that communities that have been SCs and STs have been given importance there. This is what we have learnt. Even the women reservation. So, children, who are the people in parliament? Be prepared with that. Go through the slides very well, and even the previous presentation that has been explained to you related to this chapter. The role of the parliament also, the functions of the parliament that has been given importance as everything we have done in this session today. So here we have completed with a revision of this chapter, why do we need a parliament? Okay. Now see you in the next session with the revision of some other chapter. Till then, take care.